Tom Brady, a once-in-a-generation player.
40 years old, he's having the most fun.
This quarterback will absolutely eat you alive.
Brady fired down the middle. Touchdown! What a throw from Tom Brady!
Better look who's coming. I love it, baby.
In 6 days, Tom Brady will play in his 8th Super Bowl. And we're joined now by Rob Parker.
What's happening? Good morning, everybody. What were you saying that he's not going to automatically win the MVP? How dare you, Joy? It's not over.
No. The regular season is over.
I know, but they didn't hand him the
Well, he's going to win the regular season MVP, and he's going to win the Super Bowl MVP. But that's not important.
Look at his wrist, Skip.
Oh, yeah. Rob.
Look at it.
It's all this week.
He got another white team that's ugly and cheap.
No, it's going to stop. That's a nice watch, Rob.
No, it's not.
Thank you.
Who buys breath mints and a watch at a convenience store? Who does that? Rob Parker.
Rob, your watch is nice. Skip, let me start with you. Has Brady gotten too much or not enough credit for the Patriots' success?
I want to hear this.
Hear me out, Rob.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of Tom Brady personally off the field. I don't care about off the field. I'm talking about on the football field. I'm the biggest fan of Tom Brady, and I do not believe he gets nearly enough credit outside of Patriot Nation, and it just eats me up because his career to date, even just to date, already deserves a separate wing in your Hall of Fame. That's how great it is just to date.
No.
Yes. And just for perspective, I step back and I say, all I hear about Tom Brady, especially on this show from these two, is the discount, discredit, negative this, negative that. Why this? It's Belechick. It's Gronk is 50-50 credit. And I look at some of the other athletes we dealt with in the last couple decades. Let's look at Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Was he not embraced as the greatest ever? Any problems with him? Any negatives about him?
No, six championships, six MVPs.
He struck nothing but awe in everybody who observed him. Am I right about that? Mm-hmm. And yet, I can make a case that in the clutch, Tom Brady has been even greater than Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Not with 2 losses on his resume in the championship game.
I can show you what he did in the first championship game.
Oh, he lost twice.
You know, he lost twice to Eli. So wouldn't that make Eli the better quarterback?
Better quarterback. So let's look at Peyton Manning. Is he not embraced? Was he not beloved as the greatest quarterback ever? That's all I heard, right? Mm-hmm. Am I right about that?
Not from yours truly.
But despite the fact that Peyton Manning ended in the postseason 14-13, and that included a 3-game winning streak at the end of his career that won the Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. 14-13, including that.
Yes.
And all I hear on this show is that Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady. And I just sit back in awe of that because Aaron Rodgers has been to one and only one Super Bowl. And since then, he's 5-6 in the postseason. And he's been to a grand total of 3 championship games, NFC championship games, while Tom Brady's been to 12, including 7 straight AFC championship games. That's just extraordinary. Yet all I hear is discredit, negative. All I hear is it's his supermodel wife. It's his aw shucks, gee whiz, too good to be true media persona. Am I right about that? That's all I hear on this show. I even hear about avocado ice cream and Ugg boots, right? That's what I hear on this show. And just for the record, just a couple of the marks that he's already set, and he's about to play in his 8th Super Bowl. Just look at this. He has 27 postseason wins already. Guess who's second on that list? Montana with 16. 27-16, that's second place. Number 1 in postseason passing yards. Second on the list is Peyton Manning. Tom Brady is 2,382 yards ahead of second place Peyton Manning on that list. Mm-hmm. Extraordinary. Number 1 in completions over second place Peyton Manning by 243. He's completed 243 more postseason passes than Peyton Manning ever did. Game-winning drives, he has 11. Next on the list is your guy John Elway with 5. Extraordinary. 8 fourth-quarter comebacks.
Game-winning drives that resulted in him throwing a touchdown? Is that what that is?
I don't know exactly how you
No, because it can't be. It must be about field goals.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's but that wins the game. Does that count?
No, it counts. But
you see what he did there? Now, that counts because Tom Brady led it. And Adam Vinatieri did his job. Gostkowski did his job. But Ray Allen hitting a 3-point shot in the corner, that wasn't Ray's job. Ray was supposed to be handing out water at the time or getting
What
concessions.
are we talking about? It wasn't his job. It was his told job. He saved LeBron's legacy with that shot.
So
he was the clutch shooter on that team.
So how did Adam Vinatieri
Hey,
get
it's
to be
part
known
of football. I don't like it, but is it a rule that you get to kick a field goal?
How is Adam Vinatieri get the moniker the greatest clutch kicker in NFL history?
Help me out. Did Adam complete 5 passes to get him in position to kick 49 yards?
No, but Jim Kelly did, and Scott Norwood missed the field goal.
This is wait.
And he's paying for it for the rest of his career.
Okay, but this is about Tom Brady.
All I'm saying is how we view it, Skip.
Against Carolina in the next Super Bowl, he had to complete 4 big passes, including a big third down conversion to set up Adam.
What happened
before that? What happened before that when the kicker kicked the ball out of bounds to start the drive?
Okay,
you remember that?
Do you remember what happened against Seattle? 124 yards passing in the 4th quarter against the Legion of Boom and 2 touchdowns to come from 10 points back to win the game?
Rob, we didn't tell you that New England's defense did give up a point in the 4th quarter to Seattle's offense.
Okay, well, you need a little bit of help, but
look, you see what you do?
Wait, time out. You are discounting 124 yards passing against the Legion of Boom in the 4th quarter and 2 times. It's extraordinary. It's impossible.
Earl Thomas is playing with a torn labrum.
Oh, give me a break.
Oh, he was not.
Tom Brady played with 12 stitches in his hand.
Skip Bayless.
Against Jacksonville. Well, I don't care. Don't give me Earl Thomas. I'm not giving you 12 stitches. I didn't even bring it up. You brought it up.
Earl Thomas tore his labrum.
Oh,
Cam Chancellor was playing with a torn knee ligament.
Oh, give me
Richard Sherman was playing with a torn elbow ligament.
They look just fine to me.
Oh, I can't even
Julian Edelman ate him alive. Way to go. That's all Tom Brady. And then who throws for 246 yards in the 4th quarter and overtime of the Super Bowl to bring a team back from 28 to 3 down? Tom Brady did. That should just end this discussion right here, right now. Not to mention that against Jacksonville, he loses Gronkowski again. Didn't have Gronkowski against Atlanta in the Super Bowl last year. Loses him again for the second half and throws for 138 yards in the second half and is even better without Gronkowski. And I've made the case, Rob, you weren't here, but he is a little better without Rob Gronkowski because he gets so Gronk conscious. You know, he's
trying to get him the ball,
forcing the ball to 87. I like him better spreading it to Edelman and what's left to Chris Hogan and a little pop pass to James White. That's how they.
Skip, can I ask you a question, if you don't mind me asking? Over the last 22 minutes of the game in Super Bowl 53, what responsibility did Brady have of holding the MVP and that offense to 0 points over the last 22 minutes of the ball game in Super Bowl 53?
Which game is that?
Super Bowl 51.
You just changed it to 53.
Super Bowl
we haven't played 53 yet.
Super Bowl 51. What role did Tom Brady play in the last 22 minutes?
I don't even know the numbers. Who's the opponent? I don't even know what the numbers are.
In Super Bowl 51.
Atlanta.
Super Bowl 51.
Sure.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
In the last 22 minutes, the Patriots defense allowed 0 points. Can you tell me the role that Tom Brady played into that?
I can tell you hugely what role. Matt Ryan and his coordinator, Kyle Shanahan, are looking across the field at number 12 saying, we got to do something to keep 12 off the field. And they started to choke. They tried to do what they had done. They tried to keep throwing the football instead of running the football because they're up against number 12.
Okay.
You know it, and I know it. The mystique just echoes across the field.
I believe Tom Brady gets too much credit because in his 17 years as a starter, Tom Brady has had 14 top 10 defenses. But here's the thing.
He had a 1 or a 2 or 4. No?
Scoring defenses?
Yeah.
Yes, he has.
Has he had a 1?
Yes.
No, he hasn't.
So Tom Brady's never had a number 1 scoring defense.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so. I know so. But anyway, here's the kicker. In those losses, he lost to 2 teams. One of them was ranked 17th in scoring D, and the other was 25th. One was a 9-17, the other was a 10-6. But we give him all this credit for. So
Well, what did he do against the first Giant team with 2 minutes left in the game? What happened? He threw it to Randy Moss for the go-ahead touchdown like he always does. Is that not? Was it his fault? Was David Tyree his fault?
They averaged scoring 36 points a game. They scored 14 in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Whose fault is that?
Well, his offensive line, he's never had a very good
now it's his offensive line fault.
Were they not all over him the whole day? They were all over him the whole day. You told me that.
Okay.
You said, that's the way you beat Tom Brady.
I'm going to turn it over to you, Rob.
Okay, but let me get 2 seconds in.
I will. At no point in time when Tom Brady was coming back and throwing for 243 in the 4th quarter and overtime did he mention the offensive line. He said Tom Brady. But when he loses, it's always someone else's fault other than Tom's.
And the notion, Skip, that you say he doesn't get enough credit, Tom Brady gets so much credit. I thought he was an American
Where?
Express
How?
card with unlimited credit.
Black one.
A black card, because it's always about Tom Brady. Not only that, you mentioned the defense. In the Atlanta and Seattle game, they didn't give up any points in the fourth quarter,
None.
which is part of it. None of that is ever mentioned. Adam Vinatieri kicked 2 game-winning field goals in 2 of the first 3
He set it up.
Super Bowls, right? And the first Super Bowl that they won, the Tuck rule that year, he threw 1 touchdown the entire postseason, Skip. 1 touchdown, and they won a Super Bowl, and he gets all the credit like he did everything. So all I'm saying is, not that he shouldn't get some credit, but it's over the top credit for Tom Brady. It's ridiculous. Other guys are on that team.
I don't hear
Everybody
any
thinks
credit.
that it's only about Tom
Yeah,
Brady.
what you mean you don't hear any question?
Credit.
They
I sit
always
here
say
every
he's
day.
the greatest.
Would anybody have ever had this discussion with Michael Jordan going to his 6th NBA Finals? Nobody would say,
He never
yeah, but
lost.
look at what he did. Look how much help he had. Look at Dennis Rodman.
Because the difference is Michael plays on both ends of the equation. He can play. He can steal the ball.
And
he can block a shot. Tom Brady is at the mercy of his defense. If they
Just like Aaron Rodgers has been in his career, the mercy of his defense.
Ben Roethlisberger threw 5 touchdowns, 470 yards. But why couldn't he generate any ground? Because his defense couldn't stop the Jags from scoring.
And they scored 45 in Pittsburgh.
My point. That's all we're saying.
And except for one of those Super Bowls, Tom Brady has not had any go-to, get-behind-you deep threat receiver. He had Randy Moss for 1 Super Bowl, right?
Okay.
And
they
couldn't
lost.
win.
And they lost with Randy
Why?
Moss.
Because you know why they lost? Because they scored 22 points. It's less than what they scored in the regular season. That's why.
Wasn't that the undefeated season?
Yes. And, the Giants were 9-7, had the 25th rank. Now you would think the greatest quarterback of all time
Would eat that alive, that defense.
we talk about, did you see what he did to Legion of Boom? Did you see what he did to Saxonville? The 25th ranked defense.
So no Rob Gronkowski the last 8 games last year, and Rob Parker's saying no Gronk, no hardware. No Rob Gronkowski for the second half against Saxonville, and help me out. What happened? How did he do that?
Yeah, we've seen teams win. The Giants won a Super Bowl without Phil Simms, Jeff Hostetler. So it's been done.
This is about Tom Brady.
That's my point, Skip.
There's never been anything like him.
But
yet
to say
you're
he
saying,
gets no
wait a
credit
second,
or
I want
doesn't
to
get enough?
I want to get this on the record,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Shannon Sharp, Hall of Famer, is saying that Tom Brady is overrated. Correct?
How did I say that?
You just made a strong case that he's
All
overrated.
I'm saying,
It was this, it was Belichick's
I didn't
defense.
say he was overrated.
Yeah, you did.
But all you want to make it about is that when he loses, it's someone else's fault. When he gave him the lead, he scored 14 points. You didn't mention anything about how well the offensive line protected in the second half of that ball game. All you told us was about the 243 that he threw for in the fourth quarter in overtime.
Don't discredit him. It's 246.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. But you didn't mention the offensive line. But all you did when he got beat, did you see that pass rush? Name the time that we've mentioned the 2007 Giants defense as opposed to the 2000 Ravens or the 02 Bucks or the 14 Seahawks or maybe the 70 Steelers. Oh, they don't.
What's by far the hardest position to play in sport?
I don't know what's
It's
hard.
quarterback. It's quarterback.
So now we're making our heads hard.
Well, it's just the most important position in football. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Thank
So
you.
is Tom Brady the first and the only guy that's ever played the quarterback position?
No.
Okay, I'm just
But
making
No, he's the best. We gotta leave it there. Yesterday, Tom Izzo was questioned about the allegations at Michigan State, and we'll discuss that next.